Bingy, Okavango, Rasdada, Yaga, Truck Fender, the Living Fire represent to the fullest. See? Perfect balance. Don't know so. Tread class. Living Fire represent. Keep the fire burning out. What the man will like, keep it like right. This is it.
The town or the city or the county might make a rule of that nature if they say this is what they want in their township or county or city, whatever the jurisdiction might be. But what may I say today is that it is not a law. You get me? It's not a law. And they might use these things to really take away people liberties, brother, one at a time. And the more people just sit down and accept it, and the more them go win. You get what I'm saying?
We are all on reasons, but sitting there gone, but gone talk about. Me know what you talk about.
Me know you're not going to know what I talk about because you don't
talking
want
about
to
what
listen
is
to
the
it.
law.
You understand? As Bingy said,
Ordinance.
as we have said, if an law, go to court and go fight it and say
Them can't beat you in a court if you fight it. If you use the right line,
okay,
they can't
all
beat
right.
you. Because it's
When
not a
snow
law.
fall,
It's
we
not
not
a
gonna beat you
law.
know. But when the snow fall, don't clean the driveway and
But
make
that's
somebody
not
go
what
sue
we're
you
talking
and
about.
see
We
what
weren't
happens.
talking about
No,
snow.
Ras,
And
stick,
what
wait,
Because you have
but
things in
stick
a
up in,
town,
stick
you
up
go by
in,
town to town.
stick up in, stick up in,
Anyone think them.
stick up in.
Go to
Ras,
them and see what.
I think the confusion here, even for the eye, is if an ordinance violate the Constitution, right?
right.
Then you could go and fight that, right? We're not talking about
Right.
that. We're talking about ordinances that everybody follow. For example, if you live in a
But if
town,
you have an unregistered vehicle,
yes,
on your property,
yes,
it's not on a public thoroughfare.
but
And
that
they're telling you that you have to have that vehicle registered.
registered. But
That's not
that
being used on a public thoroughfare.
that is a
Or they
town
can
ordinance.
tow it.
No, that is a town
But I'm saying
ordinance.
that's a violation of your constitutional
No, but
right.
everybody who live in the town agree to that because they're not in uproar about it.
But
They're
it doesn't
not in
matter if everybody
opposition.
agree to it, because everybody agree to it doesn't mean that you have to agree to it.
If it is
No, it doesn't
constitutionally
mean
wrong, it
that.
is
But it doesn't
constitutionally
mean
wrong,
it
and
is in
people will push it
violation of the
If you live in
Constitution.
town, you agree with it.
But where is it in violation of your constitutional right? It was
Because a registration on a vehicle
means
is
it on the
for the
road.
sole purpose of use on the road.
the public
That is the
thoroughfare.
purpose of it. Public thoroughfare. So if that vehicle is not being used on the road, and they can now say, okay, we're going to come into your property and seize your property without any justification
But that is not
outside of how it's on your
justification.
property unregistered.
But it
That
just
is illegal.
but
But it's not
there's
illegal.
but
It's not being
Registration
operated.
is for public thoroughfare.
It's not
listen,
being
A registration
operated.
is
Ras,
for public
Ras,
thoroughfare.
Ras.
It's even under the
If
canvas.
but wait. If you live in a place like America and something like that was illegal, that would have been challenged and resolved a long time ago. That what the I saying would have been
Not
challenged and
necessarily, not
resolved long time
necessarily,
ago.
not
Here was
necessarily,
the second.
not
Here,
necessarily,
why?
Bingy.
Why? You telling
Not
me
necessarily,
all
Bingy,
these
because as you
thousands of
say,
people?
because as you
Wait. Are you
because
telling me
as you
all these
say, as
thousands
you
of people
say, as you
living here?
say,
Nobody would ever challenge you? Nah, man.
I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying, Bingy,
Dada,
if you
Dada,
live in a city,
a
let
while
me
ago,
respond to
I'm going
Bingy.
to read,
Let me
you read
respond to
something a while
Bingy.
ago. You read something a while ago. We say, because, me go read that stuff. Yes, town ordinance are considered local law.
They're considered.
Yes.
They're
It's law, it's a
considered.
local law.
But it's not a law.
No,
They're
but
considered. They're considered. If
It's,
it was a law, if it was a law,
it's saying it's a local law.
No, it's saying it's considered. It's
That's the
considered.
operant word there.
It's considered. It's
but
not
then
a
how do
local
you
law.
how
It's
you break
considered.
that? But how
It
you
doesn't
get around
supersede
that?
the
Though?
national law or the law of the land.
You're talking about constitutional law versus
Dada.
local law. We're not talking about. So the only way that would be in violation is if it's in violation the constitutional law. I don't think when local towns are writing laws necessarily or local laws they're violating constitutional laws in most instances,
Of
right?
course they do. They do it all
Wait,
the
no,
time,
no, no,
Bingy.
no. They
They do it all the
do.
time, Bingy.
No, I'm saying
They
they
do it all the
do, but
time.
I don't think they do it in most instances. I don't think the people who really they.
I think in
You
most
think so?
instances.
In
I
most
think in most
instances,
instances. I think in most
Like
In what
what?
in, in
instances.
what
like what?
instances? In
I
what
think
In
in
instances,
the,
what?
brother?
Like what?
like what we're talking
But that's
about
not
now.
most. That's a
Like what we're
rarity.
Yeah.
talking
So
That's
what?
a
about now.
rarity.
If
This is
you
new to
have
you. No, this is
listen,
new
But
to
this is
you.
a
listen,
rarity,
This
and
is
DJ.
new to
I
you. I
gave
first
you,
get
and
it.
I
What I
yeah,
want you
and
to
I gave you
know.
another one. I gave you one where in a town you can
Uh-huh.
park on your yard. You can have no vehicle on your yard. That's another one. But
And
those are
that's illegal
rarities.
again. Because what you do on your property is your choice. And the Constitution said that. So that is another one.
No, but how many more
That's
can you
another one.
name? How many more you can
Okay,
you
you want me
say?
to name another one?
Yeah.
You cannot go and film or record a municipal police courthouse building. That's another one. You
That's
want
local.
another one?
Is that local? Is that local?
Yeah, these are city ordinances. These are city ordinances. What them are implement around the country. You
But
get a
wait,
master. So this is
has
what
that
I said to you.
always
I said,
been a truth? Is there or has that always been in place, or is that a recent implementation?
I don't know the recency of it. I don't know the recency of it, but it's a current thing right now. I don't know when it come in, but this is one of the things that they have brought in and have implemented.
But of course, me hear that. Me don't know
What?
that. Me don't know that.
Okay, well, there you go. Just like you said first, man, you have been getting talk about too.
But I'm
No, but
sure, I'm
me know you can't
sure,
film. Me know you can't film them thing there.
I'm
That's
sure
what
if
Mm-hmm.
I'm
a
saying.
fine or a penalty has been
Yeah. Me don't know if you can. Me don't know if you can film sitting there. Anything at all.
Well, let me say you can check it out.
if a fine or a penalty is applied to a
Okay. You
resident,
can't
see?
film it.
Municipal and police building and them thing there. Them try
You
to
can't film it.
implement those as ordinances or statutes. And try to use the semblance of saying it's the law.
Well, on there. You say you can't film it.
Mm-hmm.
You say that.
My lord, this is what I say ultimately, right? I say we have to protect our rights and our freedoms and liberties. Bro.
Dada,
But we're
We
not
have to
talking
do
about
that.
that. We're
certain
not talking
towns
about
have
that.
different rules and
We're not
certain laws.
talking about that.
If you don't agree with the law of the town,
Yeah.
don't live in that town.
Yeah.
No, that's a foolishness. That's a
No,
foolishness.
no.
That is like
So,
that is like
so what you
that
say?
are the same
Alright, so
logic.
a town,
That is the
a town
same
have a law
logic.
say.
That is the same logic like a person go look on you as a person who's a migrant in the US and say, well, if you have a problem with all the
So,
US
so
things,
we are
don't
saying,
live in
okay,
the US.
Bongo,
You understand?
it
No,
is
I
not
That's the
don't see
same
the logic.
logic. That's a
abuse, and
I don't see
foolishness.
the
people
logic.
are
I don't see the
abusing it.
logic.
That's
Eh?
a foolishness, brother.
We are saying it's not open to abuse and people are not abusing the enforcement.
No. Look on this. A town have a rule say you can't park on the street after 2 a.m. Which in my place, as nobody
That's
drive
a
over there.
foolishness too. That's a foolishness
You
too.
say a
I
foolishness,
don't mean
but
say
you
a
have to live in
foolishness.
that town.
I don't mean say a foolishness. A foolishness. So what me I say now is this. You have to remember say all of them things is a bit for generate revenue, you know. That's all these things are, you know.
Right.
It's a means to generate revenue. So why them are gonna make you live in a town and they still try to generate revenue off of you? When you don't pay property taxes, you have paid your taxes.
That is one way to
all
look
of
at it,
them
Dada.
things there. Eh?
That's one way to look at it.
I
Sometimes
don't
you live
want to do,
above,
but that is the reality of
sometimes
it.
you live above the space
No,
where you pay the parking
on
for.
reality.
So all right, what is the legal ramification of parking on the street after 2 a.m.?
Okay, so you have towns that after 2 a.m., that's when them clean the street. You understand? So they don't want the car them on the street
Okay.
after certain hours.
Okay.
At that time, they clean
Or
the
two.
street.
Okay.
My town,
Uh-huh.
you can't park on the street on a Tuesday because that's when them clean the street.
Right. Okay. So what I'm
Right.
saying, there's a difference when you say, okay, we're gonna clean the street at this time, right? So therefore, at this time, don't be on the street. But to say at no time at all, at that for that period of time,
That's a
you
lot of
cannot have
tongues.
your
But
vehicle on
that's
the
a lot
street.
of tongues, Ras.
I agree.
But
Yeah.
you have a next one too. You have a next one too where people don't live in our area
Can park.
and them come park there. So a bag of car park and block up people place. So that our next rule where they
But
implement
it's a
it.
public road. Anybody can park there. It's a
The
public
residents
road.
don't
Everybody
want it.
can't park.
It's
No.
a public road.
The
It's a
residents
public
don't
road.
want
Anybody
it.
can
Dada.
park there.
The
It's a
residents don't
public
want
road.
it.
So that is what we're talking about. That's what
Okay,
we're
the
talking
resident,
about.
the people that will live in a town,
Mhm.
I saw them want to go.
Mhm.
So if you want to live in a town like that, you're gonna live in a town like that. If you don't want a town like that, don't live in a town like that.
So Ras is
Okay.
saying the people wrong. In other words, the people wrong.
What?
If they're telling people they
I'm
don't want
saying,
that.
No, the
right?
people choose.
I
The
am
people choose
saying,
which
They
one
make
they
a
accept.
choice.
right. I
That
am
is in
Yeah,
saying,
favor of
I
them
am
because they're
saying,
not
I
gonna
am
make
saying,
agreement to get their
Ras,
I
point.
am saying,
so
I
far.
am saying, we cannot put our personal preferences over the
and
rights of
you guys think a
people.
while ago, you know. You guys think a while ago.
Okay.
Normally these towns, the rule and the law them go by where people them want in
Yeah,
a town.
man. Referendum.
Because the people them live in a town can change them
Yeah,
law.
Mhm.
they do.
Yeah.
They can.
So as me I say, if you want them law there, you're gonna live in them town there. People
If
them
it is a
want
law that you
them
have the
law there,
right to
live in a
appeal.
town there.
So if them penalize you, just take them to court and
Simple.
appeal the matter.
Simple. Simple.
But you lose
Simple.
more
If you
But
have
when
the
you
time
being penalized.
and you have the money to
and the
do that.
money, the time and the resources.
Yeah, you
Because
lose
it's
Nobody know
more.
that.
money.
Nobody
Again,
know
so
that.
you
Nobody
see,
else.
everywhere is a revenue.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the
No,
Revenue.
and I
inconvenience
say,
that we have to deal
you
with.
have
You
the
know?
choice
Everywhere is
of
a
living in
You
a
revenue.
live in
one
a
town.
So you
monetary
see, it's the
system,
way you
Ras.
say, it's the way I say, it's the way I say, Okavango. It's the way I say, my lord. You know if you say that, I'm gonna tell you why you mustn't say that. You see, just
No,
like apartheid,
think we
just
just
like apartheid, right? Where them can tell us, say, because you are this or because you are that, you're not supposed to be here. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody have the right to be anywhere. You see me?
Well, so
Everybody
a little
has the right to be
apartheid are going
anywhere.
in a
Yeah,
city.
man. Yeah, man. I mean, I burn it out.
Dada,
Yes, sir.
dada, you can't use things, you use things equate to things.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
can
just use
use
one
that.
just use apartheid just because apartheid sound like something we don't like. This and apartheid are totally different things.
It's not.
You understand?
Yes,
It's
sir.
not.
You,
It's
you,
not. It's
Dada,
not.
stop fooling me,
It's
Brethren.
the
This
implementation
is
of a person's
listen,
ideology.
anybody
No, you
can go
tell
live in
foolishness.
any
You're too
town.
outdated.
Anybody can go live in any town them want live in.
You're too
So
bright.
if you
Don't tell
want to
me
go live
I
in
say
Patterson, you can live in
foolishness.
Patterson if you want.
Don't tell me what I say foolishness. That's right.
I fool you that.
No, foolishness is unita. Because you don't go
Dada,
where you want it to go with.
if you want
But
to
the
live in
reality is,
Dada,
the reality is, when a person want to implement their ideology on you because that's what them want to implement, that's apartheid. So because it might not be as extreme as race and life and the
Foolishness.
loss and them things there. It starts from them simple things, yeah, brother. It starts
Foolishness.
from them simple things, yeah.
Me, no one live in Patterson.
Okay.
I don't want to live in Patterson. I
Okay.
don't buy a house in Patterson.
Okay.
Because guess what? The rules over there, I don't like the rules them.
Okay.
I don't like for them implement
Right.
the rules them over
Right.
there. So I don't want to live there. So I find somewhere where I want to live. You understand? Because I don't like them rules there.
Yeah.
And if I don't want, I have a choice to go live there. So I
Right.
can go live in Noah. I can go live where I want to live. You know what I mean?
They choose.
That's why I
have a
live
choice
in
to go live
Noah.
where I
They
want.
choose.
That's why I live in Noah, because I like them the rules.
Yeah, he choose.
Right.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
choose.
Right. So
Right.
what's wrong with that?
Because in a Noah, them now break and breach your constitutional rights by telling you can't park on the road, which is a public road, after 2 o'clock in the morning. So we choose to live where my constitutional rights now going to be violated and breached.
But
That's
that's
my
not
choice.
true,
So if
Ras.
you choose to live where yours are going to be
For that,
violated,
Ras.
that's a your choice. So
That's
live
not
your
true.
choice.
Yeah, right.
My choice.
If everybody want, you can live at Hackensack too. Right?
We can live anywhere we want to live.
Right.
Right.
So that means say you can live where you
You
want to
just
live.
want to live free, Dada.
I'm going to choose.
You just want to live free.
No.
To live where
It's not-
my
yeah, it's not free
constitutional
now.
rights are
You
not
want to
going
live
to be
somewhere
violated.
where you have more land harder, where more harder there. In a Palestine and Noah, there's no harder. A little harder. You know what I mean? A man can just park in front of you and block you from come out of your yard. You have to look for who block up your yard. You understand?
Okay.
Me want to live somewhere where have more harder.
No courtesy.
You understand? Me don't want people. Me don't want people to come sit down by my step. When me are going to my house, me don't want that. You understand? So me choose somewhere where more aligned with where me want.
Uptown.
So what me I say is this, brother. We not talk about them the kind of choice. We are talk about things now.
So why choice? But the tone them.
May I respond to you? May I respond to the eye?
But me not don't talk.
Yeah, you
Thank
don't
you.
talk.
The tone them give you rules them and I tone them say, okay, this we are provide ya, so.
Mhm.
So if you want it, you come live there because this is what we are doing in Nesatonia.
Mhm. So this is why I set you, so why I equate it to saying, me not accept that the reasoning there. Because of the same reason when a person go look on an immigrant and say, well, if you don't like these things, why you come here? Go back to your country. You understand? Because them say in this country, these are the rules, these are what we're implementing, and this is what we're dealing with. So if you come and have a problem with that, then you should go back.
But
So
Dada,
this is the same ideology. So that's what I
Dada,
tell you.
no,
It's like
it's
a
not the
man
same
saying that if
ideology.
you're not a
It's
criminal,
not the
you
same
must not be
ideology.
worried about your privacy.
You can't equate immigration with a town. You understand? Me like live a Linstead because me have a Linstead town. In a little area me live, me can go pick fruits, me can go river, me can go harbor place, me can go in a bush. Me love them place. Me not like Mobile. Me not like city. You understand? Me not love them places. You know what I mean? It street them as a flood all the while. Me not have them place there. So me not live a Mobile. Me have a child to live a Linstead, so me live a Linstead because of Linstead.
All right, Okavango, you keep it up.
Same thing. I don't like Newark because me not like how people them over there look for me. I me not like how people are block up the road all the while and I park on the
You
two
keep
side
it
of the
up.
road
You
when the
keep
road
it up.
little
You keep it up,
and they sitting there
Okavango.
and
You
lick
keep
up
it
my
up.
car. Me not like
Lawlessness.
them sitting there. So yeah.
Listen to me.
Lawless, me not like them sitting
Oi,
there.
listen to me.
Yo,
Listen to
that I
me.
love support criminality, you see, man.
Ah, ah. So now we getting somewhere.
Listen to me.
So,
Listen to me.
so, so
Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me.
now we
Listen
getting
to me.
somewhere.
Listen to me. I
All right.
find this to be an ambush. I find this to be
And
an
you're
ambush.
unprepared.
Bring out the
And
video
And
there.
you're
Bring
unprepared.
out the video and show him the
unprepared.
And
evidence
you're
of
I am
it.
prepared.
unprepared. You're
I am
You ain't
unprepared.
prepared,
prepared.
man. You ain't
I
You're
prepared.
am
You ain't
prepared.
no
unprepared.
Ramaphosa.
You're
What I am
You ain't
saying
no
unprepared.
is
Yes,
this.
no
Ramaphosa.
What I am
Ramaphosa.
saying is this.
Correct. No
What I'm saying is
Ramaphosa.
this.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is
No,
this.
sir.
I am saying
Mhm.
that the country or city or town that we live in should protect our constitutional rights and not infringe on it. And we're
You're
not
right
talking
about
about
that.
personal preferences. You can have whatever preferences you choose, that's fine on you. But I'm saying they should not implement any rules that is going to infringe on your personal rights and freedoms and liberties. And that is what I'm stand on. I'm in a business who not like that and who vex about that. Me no business.
Yeah.
That's what the reality
Yeah, man,
is.
you
And that's
like
what
what
I
you like,
stand
man.
with. You
You
understand?
like what you
So
like.
You have a point also,
no,
Dada.
if
You have a
you
point
will tell me,
also.
say, to live in this city, I cannot have a vehicle that is unregistered on my property. That is an infringement of my right because that
But it's
vehicle
not
is
because
not
but it's
I say
on
not
you
but
see
it's
my
it.
not
I say
but
you
public
it
see
is
it.
thoroughfare,
not. You know why it
which
is
is what
not?
the
On your property
requisition
as
Ras,
well,
of.
Dada. On your
Ras,
property as
What
well.
Ras.
do you mean?
You know why it is not? Because all the vehicles on my property registered. So it is not. Wherever
What's
it
in
is
that? What you
not.
say?
Right? So we talking about
What do you say? I
perspective
don't get what
here.
you're saying. I don't get what you're saying, meaning.
No, meaning the
You
properties.
say, why is it not what?
I know that I cannot have an unregistered vehicle on my property. I speak from my point of view, right?
Why? Why can't you have an unregistered
Because
vehicle
the
on your
tongue
property?
ordinance says that, right? So I
Right. So
know,
this is what I'm saying to you, that the
Man,
town
Bingy have
I
no
cannot
problem
know
with that.
that
implement an
all the
Bingy
ordinance
have
like
vehicles
that.
no
on the
problem with
I
that.
property is
And to make
registered.
matters worse, to make matters worse, it's fully digital now, so you don't even have to have anything sticking up on the
Yeah,
windshield.
nothing.
You can
No,
just come
no.
and press on
Yeah,
your phone and
yeah,
know that
man.
you're
Yeah.
out of registration and issue a fine.
But this is what I'm saying, Yaga. I'm saying that that is an
Them are
infringement
choices,
to
though,
people's
Ras.
rights. Right? It's
It's
Because
not a
choice,
them
man.
are
It's
choice.
choice.
Because you
choices.
don't have
It's
a
a
choice
choice.
in the
Them are
matter.
choices.
You know
It's
what you
illegal,
can
Dada.
do?
Bingy
For
have the
instance,
choice
Sometimes
to
it's
buy a
illegal.
house somewhere else.
for instance, right?
You
Yeah,
don't have
I
a choice
just
in the
say
matter.
parking on 2 a.m. in the street
Mhm.
where you have to move your car or wherever. And you don't have to do that in Newark, right? But that is not
Mhm.
true, right? There are many streets in Newark where you have to move your car, right? Many,
Every
Yeah.
street you have to move, but what I'm
but
saying, there's no thing to say at
yeah, but
no
you
time
say
at all. For this time, you can't park there. You
Yeah,
understand
So
what
but
I'm
you're
it
saying?
saying
So
that's
happens
an illegal
everywhere.
even
practice
if there's
which
a
people
restriction,
accept.
even if
But
there's a
but
restriction like that, you can see what the cause of the restriction is.
nobody, I say you choose to live in North. This is the I statement because you don't have that restriction. You don't have that restriction on the street or the area you live in North. But in North, there are people who have that restriction. I'm saying it exists everywhere, right? Those type of ordinances where people follow because the town say it is the local law exists everywhere, even when it
But it's not a
infringes.
local law, it's a
No,
local ordinance.
no, it's local. Well, all right, that's a
It's a
technicality
local
because
ordinance. It's not a local law. It's a local
all right, it's
ordinance.
an ordinance. It's
It's
a
considered
local
local law.
No, it's
ordinance.
not. It's considered. It's
All
considered.
right, so it's a local ordinance,
Happy
but
Yeah.
when
about
you
that.
don't follow those local ordinances, there's a fine or something attributed to it, right? So there's a monetary value to it to that
Right.
local
So you have
government,
to
right?
fight that. You
We
have to
we
fight
we
that. You have to fight
understand
that. If
we
you love your
understand that,
liberty, if you
but
love your liberty and your freedom, you have to fight that. You
I
have to
don't
fight
see
that.
how
Mm.
things
So that
like
are the
that,
fight.
for
So you have to know if you
instance,
want to
right?
fight that.
The man
But I
them give
don't
up
see
their
how things
liberty,
like
Dada. The
that
man them give up their liberty
infringe
star.
on you and what you doing.
Yaga, all them
Yeah,
something
man.
you know before you live in a town.
Yeah,
So once you live in a town, you say you got to adhere by these rules.
The man them
yeah.
accept to give up them liberty, Dada. So
Yeah,
them a live
But
within the
it's
framework.
not acceptance.
yeah.
Let me ask you this, Ras. Do you do things outside of your ordinance that you live in? Wherever that ordinance constitutes, if they tell you don't park on the side of the street.
I
Wait,
have the right. I
no,
have the
no, no, no,
right
no,
to
no. I'm not
not
asking if you
incriminate
have the
myself.
right.
Listen,
I'm
listen,
saying,
listen,
do
listen,
you go
listen,
in
listen.
opposition to
Listen
what
to
they're
me.
telling you?
I
To
have
Don't
the
tell
to
right.
the
me
ordinance
I
about
over
have
the
the
here.
right.
right.
But
That's a
do,
good question.
I
do
Listen.
have the
not tell me
right.
about
I
your
have the
right.
right to
Do,
not
do the
incriminate
I go
myself.
against your tongue
I
ordinances?
I have a
Whether
right
you
to
see it
not
right or
incriminate myself.
wrong.
And so I plead the
No,
fifth on
man,
this
you
matter.
plead the fifth now,
Yeah,
right?
Please.
man.
You live
Please.
within
Yeah,
the
man.
law. You
Because
live
You
within
plead
the
the
rules and
fifth.
the laws,
You
Dada.
plead the
Yes.
fifth.
Yes.
No,
You give
no,
up
I
it
your
don't
plead
work
the
liberty.
like
fifth.
that.
You give
So
up
I
your
you
won't.
liberty
two,
also.
I won't.
so you two abiding by those.
I, I refuse to incriminate
No,
myself
Benji,
in this
no,
matter.
cause
no,
him sound like,
nah,
because you know some
man.
have a rule say if this is the way that your car is going, if this is a one way, you only can park on the one way going that
Right.
way. That sound like him park
Opposite.
facing the other way.
Right,
No, Dada
right.
not go the right. Dada not go the wrong way.
Because
No,
Dada
hey,
one
not
way.
park the wrong way.
One way.
One way.
One way.
So if I live within the ordinance,
Yeah,
Rasta.
man.
that
Live
living in
within the
ordinance.
ordinance.
Yeah, but not up to the point where it does not infringe on my constitutional rights.
And your liberty.
Oh man, once
Yeah,
you
on my
once you
liberty.
decide
Dada,
say boy,
a
because
lot of
I'm
the
say
things the I say,
Mm.
I'm saying to the I, you're not going against. You see, you plead the fifth, right? But that's
Right.
why, but then it come back
So this is
together
what I'm
now,
saying. This is
and
what
now,
okay, let me
and I
respond. My
listening to what
response is
Yaga
this.
said
My
before,
response is this.
Wait.
My
Yaga said
response is this,
something very
Benji. My
important
response
before.
is this.
Wait.
Mhm.
He said, Dada like criminality. He like to support criminality. So wait. Based on the answer and the description that Dada give, based on that, it looked like I know, man. I don't know.
Listen,
We analyzing
listen.
everything here today, and it looking good.
But this is what I'm
It
saying. This is
looking
what
good.
I'm saying. I adhere to the rules as long as it does not impede or overstep my constitutional rights
But
as a free man.
you
Because
describe
I
things,
so
right, that we all
Come
kind
on,
of
island.
abide with, and you do go against it either. So I don't know, Ras.
so like coming to tow my property off of my property because you say it's unregistered, I'm going against that. And we're gonna go a court and fight that.
That is
you're
the
gonna
Yeah.
lose.
solution.
Me can't lose that. Me
You're
guarantee that me can't lose
you're
that.
gonna lose
Me
somewhere or
guarantee
the
that me
other.
can't lose. Me gonna lose time. Me gonna lose time.
You're gonna lose
But me
somewhere or the
guarantee
other.
that me not gonna lose that. I guarantee that.
Hmm.
I guarantee that.
So a town like that, you feel say more people like you know in a town like they say
Yo,
boy, a foolish that.
I don't know
yo,
why. I don't know who's in there. I couldn't answer that.
me have
But
a
anyway,
court record, you know. 1-0. So me I traverse in a public thoroughfare and you know in a public thoroughfare them say when the amber light come on, if it is safe for you to go, you can carry on. So one blue light I come from nowhere and spot when me carry on and decide say I go pull me. And me decide say I go challenge it because I was within my constitutional right and the justification within the law allows me to proceed if it is safe to do so, and I thought I was safe. So when I went to the court and I challenged it, which goes against the advice of my wife because they know that I probably talked myself into a bit of problem, so they weren't advising it. But I felt confident within the law, and when I raised the matter, and the clerk of the court cite it up in the rule book and show it to the magistrate. The magistrate said, nah, man, we already ruled on this, we make a decision. As a matter of fact, we're not going to take that into consideration. Him wrong, and him have to pay the fine. Yeah, man, so
And it's and the rules and the
it's
law
on the
showing that you were
statute.
not.
It's on the
All right.
statute. It's
All
on
right.
the statute, but they
So,
ignored it.
so
You
this is
know?
the so this now further extends now because what them have now is them have a framework, right? Them have a framework around the whole thing. What now say, okay, this is how we're gonna justify this. But by what? The courts being complicit, the prosecutors being complicit, the police being complicit, and all of that is being complicit in ridding the people of their liberties. And
And
that
if
is
you
what we
don't
stand
know the
against.
rules, if you don't know the rules and the laws,
And
time
even when
and
you
time
know it,
again,
even when
you'll
you
be
know
a
it,
victim.
even when you know it, even when you know it, right? Even when you know it, they will rule against you. So that is why
no,
now you use the
Yaga,
appellate system.
you
You
didn't have
have
a
to
liar. You
appeal
didn't
that
have a
I
liar.
because
represented
when you
myself. I didn't think I
right
needed a lawyer because it was a
because the
clear-cut
rules is there
rule and
clear.
statute.
The rules
That's
is
a
there
problem,
clear.
man.
But what me I say now, what you do with that situation now is you use the appellate system because when you appeal it, that's when you go get your justification. But them set the system in a this way that you know what go appeal it.
Inconvenient. It's so much inconvenient that you
Right.
don't even
So you
want to
just
be
like, oh
bothered
shut me done
with
with
it.
it. So and that is why they keep stripping us of our liberties. That is
And
why.
that is why smile is there, you have to use liar because them have so much check and balance that you never say it the right way because there's a way to say it, you know.
Yeah,
You can say
definitely.
you can say
You have
the
to use
right, you know,
legal jargon. You have to use legal
legal terms
jargon.
so they can ignore it because guess what? You
You never
never
say.
use the right
Right.
words. And that's why I use a liar and fight them things them. You know what I mean? If it's that but then again, is it worth it? Is a liar?
It
You know what I
wasn't
mean?
worth the
The
200.
liar
It
pay more
wasn't
than the
worth the
ticket.
200 at all.
No. So you just love it.
Yeah.
So it's sad when we're in a situation that we're being victimized and our only response can be, worth it, so we'll just flow it.
People just deal with what matters and most important to them, you know?
That's it.
And I them think that the
So,
track class they have to highlight and make we know so well
but
them go
our
on.
liberties should matter and should be important to us.
Yes, I.
Our
Yeah,
liberties should
dada.
matter and
Can we
should be
live in our
important to us.
society, any society you live in, you gotta have them thing there where interpretation of the law go different. There is no society. So like I said, it's America, or it's England, or it's
Yeah,
Ghana, or it's Zimbabwe. Anyone of them you go, you go face the same
but
thing.
they've left loophole in the laws for them to escape and exploit those loopholes all the time.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright. Wrap it up.
Are we still at tape same way?
Yeah, record.
And I said the perfect balance, third class. I don't know, see a truck for the living for this represents. Good over evil, me tell them see a life over death. I swear, said I will never switch. Keep the fire burning out. Holy Manuel I Selassie, Jah, blazing fire.